What's up, guys? Welcome back to Savage Rounds. Today I've got a UFC Vegas 76 recap for you. It was a pretty good card overall. A lot of good fights, some surprises. Let's get into it. This is the third week in a row I've gone 500 pick-wise, so I definitely need to get that sorted. Some of them I felt like I was a little hard done. I guess not hard done by, like from a judging standpoint, but just by the Kutateladze one. He was up 2-0. It felt like, and I saw the scorecards after. All three had it up 2-0, and he started to slow down. I mean, yes, I don't want to say hard done by, but it was so close to being to going my way, and then it didn't at the end. Brenner landed a really nice shot and put Kutateladze out. Romanov, Ivanov, bad read. Petrovic, bad read. The Ruziboev one, can't really say much about that. I still want to see him face some adversity. I'm not fully sold on him yet, but boy, did he land a huge shot. Gatto Lipski fight, that was pretty close. I'm not mad at the decision, giving it to Lipski. I personally did think she won, even though a lot of people did think Gatto won too, but I had Lipski. So I missed on that one. And then Ismagulov Dawson, that was just a bad read. Dawson was completely able to get the takedowns. Ismagulov might have just hit that part of his career where he can't keep up with these top guys anymore. So bad pick on that one. But for the rest of the fights, I'll just start from the bottom. Ivanov Romanov. It was just a story of volume for Romanov. Ivanov wasn't really able to get going. He was able to land a decent shot here and there, but nothing to really impact Romanov. No big significant strikes or anything. And Romanov was able to get a few takedowns of his own, get some control time, land some ground and pound it on the feet. Just put out more good volume than Ivanov did. Stuff some of Ivanov's takedown attempts as well. So it was a good fight for him. Still weighing in a bit heavy. We'll see how that impacts him. He said in the post-fight press conference that there were some things going on in his life that affected his mental, and he's hoping he's got that sorted now. And I mean, you could definitely, this was his best performance in his past 3 fights, so good win from him there. Petrovic was not able to get the fight to the ground. I thought she would be able to at some point, and she may have temporarily, but Carolina was able to do good work to get back up or reverse it or out-scramble Petrovic. And if you're a primary grappler, you don't want that happening against Luana Carolina. And then on the feet, obviously Luana Carolina was able to do her thing there. That's where she usually comes in and does well in her fights when she's winning and forcing her game plan. So she was able to land some good shots, good volume on the feet, and she did well to get the win. The Kutateladze Brenner one, what a fight. Like I said, Kutateladze hurts Brenner at the end of the first, and early in the second, it felt like he was doing good work, up 2-0. That's how I had it scored live. And then afterwards, I did see all 3 judges had him up 2-0. Going into the third, Kutateladze, you could tell he was slowing. He gets hit by a body shot right before he gets finished. You can see him kind of hunch backwards, but he gets back into the mix pretty quick. It didn't affect him too bad. And then they kind of, not clinch, but they're up real tight in like dirty boxing range, and Brenner lands a really nice close hook that hits like right behind the ear, kind of on the neck, and just completely puts out Kutateladze. I guess not puts him out like cold, but you could see his eyes. He wasn't looking at anything. He was just looking off into the distance, and he stumbled backwards. Rosa Santos, I did not catch this fight, so I don't have really anything to say about that one. Carol Rosa got it done, so I assume she was able to do good work when it was on the feet and kind of stifle Santos trying to get the fight to the ground. Brito Wilson, that went pretty much how everybody expected that to. It was a mismatch. Wilson not quite at that level, and it was tough for him because maybe he does well against some other lower level UFC guys, but Brito's a guy that's probably looking towards the like 16 to 25 type rank for featherweight, so just outside the actual top 15. So yeah, he did well to do what he was supposed to do and get the win in that one. Kevin Lee versus Renat Fakhretdinov. Kevin Lee he looked like he'd been away for a long time. He looked like he was out of rhythm. He looked like he was getting older. He looked like injuries maybe getting to him, but yeah, I don't know. He just didn't look like he was fight ready in like a fight sort of, I don't know, like rhythm. I don't know. He didn't look like Kevin Lee back when he was doing good work. But Renat goes out there, landed big shots. I think Kevin Lee did stuff one takedown, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but for some reason I feel like I remember that. At some point, Fakardinov hits him with a big overhand, drops him, and he's able to get the finish from there. Good performance from him. I'm actually excited to see who he gets matched up with next, because he's looking like he could be a pretty solid guy. I know he definitely needs a tougher fight, because although Kevin Lee was supposed to be, he didn't really pose too much of like a pushback on Fakardinov. So I'd like to see him face some adversity. It'll be interesting to see how he does in that situation. But good performance from him. I'll talk about who I want to see him matched up with in the matchmaking video that'll come out tomorrow. But moving on up, Bruno Ferreira-Ruzibov, like I said, this one ended really quick. We didn't really get to see too much from either guy. I still want to see Ruzibov in a fight where he has some pushback, because I wasn't overly impressed with him on tape. He gets good submissions here and there, but it really feels like there's a lot of holes in his game. But yeah, he did good in this one. He was able to find his range early and use it pretty well. Some good jabs, some teep kicks to the body, and then he just timed a catch really well, caught a kick, and put a straight down the pipe and knocked Ferreira out cold. It was a great shot from him. Really good work from Ruzibov in his debut. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see him get into an actual fight in the octagon. Bonfim Saint Denis, I ended up changing this pick. I guess you could see it here. I have it marked correct. I ended up, during the video, I picked Bonfim, but the next couple of days, there's something, I knew the grappling advantages were there for Saint Denis, and I really liked the size. So I did end up changing, and Saint Denis is one of my favorite fighters. So I was happy to pick, or to switch picks and it be the right gut decision. And I would have went under 500, which would have been rough if I stayed with Bonfim. But yeah, really good one from there. You could see his size was massive compared to Bonfim, and as soon as he got it to the ground, he was completely dominant. Too big for Bonfim. He wasn't able to get back up, and Saint Denis was just a step ahead in the grappling, whether it be the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, just all of it. Lipski versus Gatto. This was a pretty close fight. I know some people had it going to Gatto. I saw that on Twitter. In the moment, I did think Lipski won, so I missed out on that one. To be honest, I don't really remember too much from this one. I don't think I was fully paying attention during this fight, but yeah, good win for Lipski. I thought Gatto was going to win. I do remember Gatto not being able to get to the fight to the ground, which if she was going to dominate this fight, that's where it was going to be. So she needed to get it there. She wasn't really able to do it in a fashion that would get her a win. So she loses 29-28. I think one judge had it 30-27 Lipski, which I did think Gatto won one round, but it is what it is. She lost regardless. Morales Griffin, close fight for Morales. I don't want to say, like, he didn't get dropped, he didn't get hurt, so there wasn't really too much pushback, but it was just a veteran with a lot of octagon time, a good amount of octagon time. Fought some good guys, beat some good guys, also lost to some good guys, so it was just a good guy to get in there and get a win against. Morales did well. His striking, although a little bit unorthodox and wild, he's got good power, and you could see his jab was so good in this fight. He was able to stuff takedowns really good. He's super athletic, and that plays a big part in how he stops takedowns. So good performance from Michael Morales. I will be interested to see who he fights next. I personally kind of have him taking a big step up, but it's a fight I think would be interesting for it, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. Next up, Ismagulov Dawson. Complete domination from Dawson. The way he sunk hooks in and took the back on Ismagulov once he got the fight to the ground, the speed was ridiculous. Really good overall performance. Literally pitched a shutout. There's really nothing to say about that. Ismagulov, it's kind of crazy how good he was able to. I don't want to say good because he still lost, and it wasn't like a close fight, but 7 of 21 on takedowns for Arman Sarukian. So it was just crazy to see how easy it was for Grant Dawson. Maybe, like I said, Ismagulov kind of does have that one foot out the door already. Who knows? Maybe injuries are really getting to him pretty bad, and he's already thinking about retirement. Who knows? But yeah, really good from Grant Dawson. He'll definitely get to fight up the ranks next, I believe. Sean Strickland, Magomedov. Abu, good first round. Kept his range, kicked well. He got a nice head kick on Sean Strickland. Didn't really land any big shots with the hands. And then second round, I guess at the end of the first, Abus was able to get on top for a little bit. I do think Strickland was able to get up, but he had a tiny little bit of control time on the ground at the end of the first. They come out in the second, and Abus is dead. It looks like he doesn't want to be in there anymore. He had no gas left in the tank. Sean Strickland gets in close in boxing range. Abus can't use those kicks anymore, and Strickland goes to work, does well, gets Magomed out of there. My fight of the night, I'm going with Kutateladze Brenner. It was, even though Kutateladze was up 2-0 on all the judges' scorecards going into the third, Brenner was still fighting back. He was landing good shots as well, doing good work, and then that comeback in the third, crazy. The whole fight was awesome. Bloody war. Good work from both guys. Performance of the night. First up, Rinat Fakhretdinov. Not too many people shouting Kevin Lee to be able to get this win, but there were some people thinking he would be able to upset Fakhretdinov. Obviously, he wasn't at his best, but still a good win for Fakhretdinov. He got it done super quickly. We saw him be able to use the hands and use the grappling. Good work from him. Next up, Benoit Saint Denis. Very, very few people I saw picked him. So it was a really good performance. Big underdog, big performance. Beats a really good guy in Ismail Bonfim. Like I said, who everyone thought was going to beat him. And he did it again in the first round. Completely dominant, quick performance. Really good work. And then lastly, Sean Strickland. He was in the media all week. So I don't want to give him praise because he says some crazy things, but it's kind of like a fight week performance of the week bonus. He was in the media all week. People couldn't stop talking about him, whether it was good or bad. He's getting that press, and then goes in, gets a finish, which he doesn't do often, and now afterwards people are shouting for him to get a title shot. So yeah, good work from Sean Strickland all week, it feels like. Winners of the night, Ruzibov comes in, beats a guy most people thought were going to beat him, does it with a quick one-punch knockout. Good stuff from Ruzibov. And debut, I didn't even say it was his debut, so that's mainly why I'm calling him a winner of the night, on your debut to get that one-punch knockout. Good work. Next up, Benoit Saint Denis. He's, I'll give him winner just because it was, obviously the performance, it was a sick performance, but like I said, very few people picked Benoit Saint Denis to win. Big underdog, and completely dominated and got the finish. Next up, Grant Dawson. This was a huge night for him. I could have done Sean Strickland here for the same reasons I said. It would have been like he was a winner for the whole week. He was everywhere all week, and then to get the finish, it was good. But I went with Grant Dawson just because this is a pretty good step up for him. Beats a pretty good guy in Ismagulov, and now he'll get to look up the rankings. He had a pretty good post-fight call-out, too. He was just talking about who he wants next. He said a big name or a big number, specifically calling out Tony Ferguson and Beneil Dariush. So yeah, there's some good matchups out there for him. My losers of the card, unfortunately, Kevin Lee. I feel bad. I don't even know what to say. He comes in, a lot of excitement about his return, and it didn't go his way at all from start to finish. It was super quick night. Didn't really get to even get going, and got finished quick. Unfortunate in your return to the UFC. What can you do though? Next up, Ismagulov. He retired. Comes back saying he wants to finish out his contract, and then starts talking about Justin Gaethje in the pre-fight press conference and stuff, saying he would make easy work of Justin Gaethje, and then to come out and get completely dog-walked. Not saying Justin Gaethje would out grapple Ismagulov. He wouldn't come out and grapple at all. So I'm not comparing how they would fight, but just to talk big talk like that about a top 5 guy and then get dog walked by the number 15 guy, it is not a good look. And yeah, I mean, now with a loss like that, who knows how retirement is sitting in his mind. We'll probably know pretty shortly. Last up, Abus. I know it was like getting thrown in unranked in your second fight, main event. Not that I want to say he should have won, but the hype he had behind him and then the way in which he lost, it was just a rough night for him. Didn't make the most of it and just looked really bad all around. But yeah, that's my little recap of the card. Did some awards, and then tomorrow I've got matchups. I'm going to be doing it for these guys. Guram Kutateladze, Elvis Brenner, Joe Anderson, Britu, Rinat Fakhretdinov, Nursultan Ruziboev, Ismail Bonfim, Benoit Saint-Denis, Michael Morales, Grant Dawson, Abus Magomedov, and Sean Strickland. So yeah, check that out tomorrow. Check out on Thursday the predictions and bets for 290. 290 is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for this card. A lot of great fights. And then drop a like and subscribe for me. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow and Thursday. Peace out.